Good afternoon, everybody. This is At the Bell with Derek Poppy Roll-On. I have two outstanding athletes, special guests today, world champions. I have the Honorable Mr. Ray Mercer, Merciless Ray Mercer, and Al Ice Cold. Two of the triple threat fighters came out to sit down and talk. Let's get a round of applause for Al Cole and Ray Mercer. Hey, what's up, Ray? How you feeling, Ray? How you doing, Al? What's going on with y'all?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great.
Man, I'm glad to have y'all on, man. I'm glad I got a lot of history with y'all. I had the honor of sharing sharing the ring with y'all, sharing training camps. I was part of that triple threat thing with us. We spent a lot of time in camp. We both worked trained by Tommy Parks. Man, we had a lot to talk about.
Tommy, if you know what I used to tell people, I didn't think it was no difference from amateur to pro. I say like I didn't even want a different coach because I wanted to keep my coach that was in the Army to help groom me to make it up to the Olympics. Right. I want to say because I don't want to get some strange guy off the street to help me make it to the world title. I want to help pay the man to help me rise to the top.
Absolutely.
So I didn't even want to be bothered with Tommy Parks. Didn't know who he was, nothing person. But he was probably the greatest thing that ever happened to us.
It is definitely a transition, man, from that amateur to the pros.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of amateur coaches that dealing with that now. A lot of fighters that want to keep their amateur coach, but it's okay to keep them because I want to keep them too. But work in the corner with them because we need to learn that transition over there, And Ray, you two guys have surprised me. I'm learning that. I've always thought that the guys that really, really make it is the guys that start in the amateurs, from the Junior Olympics to the amateurs and all of that. And then, guys that usually come in the gym, even now, they come in the ring at 19 or 20 and say, I want to box. A lot of times we'll say it's too late. But looking back, I did a little show with Mark McDowell recently. And Mark McDowell, he didn't start till he was an adult, and you didn't start till you was in the Army, and you didn't start until you was in the Army. So you're already adults with no amateur boxing experience. Right. So I don't know what your childhood was like. So Ray, tell me what your childhood like. Where you grow up at, man? Tell me what your childhood looked like, man.
I had probably the best childhood, Army bracket have, man. My father was in the military. Well, I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, left there when I was 6 years old. My dad joined the Army, and he got stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia. Went to Fort Benning, stayed there for like 10 years. Basically was raised there. Then he got stationed over in Germany, Hanau, Germany. I went to high school over in Hanau, which was great.
Wow, that's some experiences.
Going to high school in a foreign country, man, is one of the most challenging things there is to do, man. But you learn so much, man. You get to meet all the people. It's just a different type of life.
So what was it like going to school in Germany, though?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a different. It's like we was like right now today. All of us still call ourselves the Hanau Panther family, man, on Facebook and everything, man. It's like a family, man. And we was over there. We was going to all area dances. We was going to DYA, like something like this. We didn't have no boxing. We had like pool tables and all that stuff. So. My childhood was great, man. I mean, I got ass whoopings like everybody else. I didn't get into girls until later on. I was the type of guy within the woods. I had two white friends, best friends. We was in the woods every day. We was making go-karts. We did all that stuff, man.
Wow.
We did the Evil Knievel. We had Evil Knievel toy, motorcycle. We had BB guns.
And then you went into the Army at 18? Or what year?
I joined the Army. When I joined the Army, I was 20.
20. What made you go? Just following.
My dad made me go.
He made you?
When I got out of school, I wasn't doing nothing. And when you ain't doing nothing, you know what's around the corner. Trouble.
Right.
So he seen that coming and he marched me right down to the recruiter. Yeah. And I signed up, which happened to be the best thing I could have ever done.
I used to be against it. I really did. And I debate with a lot of my friends now that I used to be against like the Army and the militaries and stuff. And they say that black men got no business in the Army, right? But they're dying so much on these streets and they're not learning nothing. Yeah. People going into the services now, they're getting careers, they're learning to travel, they learning a skill, a trade. It's a lot going on. So I kind of changed my views on that a lot.
Yeah. I think if everybody that graduated high school went to like a basic training type of thing for 2 or 3 months, I think that would really help.
Oh, okay.
I think it would make it would mature all these kids out there, man. It would give them, like you said, it would give them life. It gives them the career. It gives them travel. It gives them everything.
Did you immediately go into boxing, or was boxing?
No, I was in the Army for 2 years before I even put a pair of gloves on, and I got stationed over in Joplin, Fort Campbell, Kentucky for the first 2 years. Then I got stationed over in Baumholt, Schweinfurt, Germany. And I was walking around the motor pool after about a month, and then we had the post champion heavyweight. He was in the unit. But I didn't know nothing about boxing other than watching with my father.
Explain motor pool, because a lot of people might not know what
motor pool is the place where the vehicles, where all the vehicles are stored, and you do all the work on the vehicles. The motor pool is not a place where a lot of people like to be all the time. Put it that way, because you don't remember working on cars.
Like a big garage that's constantly working on, like I said, tanks or different motor vehicles.
Okay.
But our motor vehicles is not in the streets like where we driving cars here.
Yeah.
You driving military vehicles.
It's definitely a big garage.
Okay. What about you? Would you grow up? What's your background is like?
My background, I was a superstar. I was just joking. My background, like as Mercer said, just the same normal thing.
Came from a military family also?
No, I didn't come from a military background. I came from basically just a low, I'm not saying poor, but I say lower income class. Came from a lower incomes, like not say the hood.
What city,
probably.
What state?
New York.
New York?
Yeah, I'm from Rockland County. The city's called Spring Valley, but it's Rockland County, New York. And so when you say New York, everybody think of Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan. Everything else is considered upstate.
Right.
But Rockland County is like 20, 30 minutes from the Bronx.
How far from Charles Murray?
Oh, that's far. Now Charles is up.
Okay.
Charles Murray, he's up in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
When you talk about Rochester, Syracuse, that's way farther north.
Okay.
Rockland County is just very close. It's right out by Yonkers.
So how old were you when you went into the military?
Oh, I was 18 or 19 when I first went in the military. Like I used to say, military is going to be the last thing I'm going to do. I ain't going to military. It's going to be some war. That's the last thing I'm going to do. That's how I was constantly saying it. And it happened to be the last thing I had to do. So.
What made you do it?
Nah, because you know what? Like, my parents, wasn't financially fit for us to go to school. And I see everybody else going to school, talking about going to college or having a better future and stuff like that. So I figured, like, look, I understood my parents are struggling as it is. I said, I'm grown, thinking I'm grown. Mm-hmm. Let me just go and own my own, and I could go to school in the military. Meanwhile, I could get some career, get some job, or get some knowledge, some experience, and I could just pay for my own self to go to college. And that's what I really joined the military to, is just to go to college. Boxing was the last thing. I never thought I'd box. As a matter of fact, I hated boxing. I thought boxing was stupid and dumb. I'm like, what kind of sport is getting hit in the face for a living? I'm like, that's dumb.
You just chasing the girls. That's why you were chasing the girls. So how did you two guys meet? In the Army?
I was stationed, like I said, I was stationed over in Germany, and I knew nobody. I've been boxing for maybe 2 years, knew nobody. They sent me to the all-Army camp. Mm-hmm.
What year?
What year was that? That was in the first year I went was in 85.
85.
Not the year, though. The year we met was in 88.
88? No, I'm just talking about yours.
Yeah. That meant the Olympic year.
Yeah,
we met the Olympic year. And what happened is he's stationed at Fort Hood, so he knows all the fighters. I was stationed overseas. I don't know nobody. Nobody knows me. I don't know nobody. So how we got to be friends is I would ask him, who is this guy? And, can I beat this guy?
Like, say if he wanted to fight you. Go ahead. If you, no, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting.
It's all right. I know y'all.
Well, we go way back from we're blood, we're family. We're just like, there's never a thing like where I don't think what Mercer and I have is very unusual. You know how you have fighters fight together and go up together and still be close. Everybody, whatever their sport is, but they branch off when they become adults or successful or famous. me and Mercer have always stayed together.
Yeah.
And he still get on my
I
nerves.
respect that. That's really good. I've always seen that when we was up in Great Gorge. That was your dude. So Olympics, like a big thing, man, to be represent your company and your country in the Olympics, man. It's got to be like the biggest thing. How does that feel, man? To win the chance to represent your country in the Olympics and to start as adults already and say, you know what, now, not no little kid that started at 8 years old, 9 years old, who got hundreds and hundreds of fights, but you guys as adults go in there and both get to represent your country. And what year was that, the Olympics?
88.
88 Olympics. You got the gold medal, right?
Yeah.
How about you?
No, I became Olympic alternate, but I won the gold to represent U.S.
Okay.
To go. And some politics and some, I don't want to go into, but the guy that went on, I'm happy that went on in my place, didn't even talk to him for since '88.
Who was he?
Andrew Maynard. Haven't
I
talked
fought with Andrew Maynard too. I remember Maynard. He's a good guy though. Good fighter.
Very good. I haven't talked to Maynard since '88 until we had the '88 reunion.
Oh, I remember.
And that was '88 reunion. No, we had the '88 reunion. What, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago? Las Vegas.
Las Vegas boxing hall of fame.
Yeah, and you just went into the Hall of Fame recently. Didn't you go to one of you? I know you went in New Jersey, right?
I did.
Yeah, you went to Atlantic City Hall of Fame recently. That was good.
But he had already
with you too.
Yes, Tommy Parks. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then we got to see his son too.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I was gonna call him to come meet me here today, but I didn't know.
With his son?
Yeah, man, he comes down here sometimes.
Craig.
He comes down to see us
It was
sometimes.
good seeing him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
So your achievements, man. Explain some of your achievements after the Olympics and your choices. How did you turn pro? What made you turn pro? Your manager thing. How about one at a time though? Let's see. Don't interrupt him, all right? He still look like he hit hard though.
Nah, man. Go ahead, go.
All right. Well,
You don't cut me off anyway.
nah. It's just go ahead. But listen, I don't even think Mercer or any of us. We were just in the Army. We were just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
We really never really. Did you? I don't know. Did you ever think about going to the Olympics?
I got into boxing to get out of the field in the Army.
Yeah.
To get out of going to sleep in the snow for 30 days. That's why I said yes.
Just to sign up and get out of it.
He asked me if I'd be a sparring partner for his heavyweight, and I told him we had a 30-day field problem called Reforger over in Germany, where all people from all over the world come and have big old war games. And it's in the wintertime, sleeping in the snow is terrible. People die, get ran over by tanks and all that. So I told him when we come back from there, then I'll do it. He said, if you say yeah, you won't have to do it. You won't have to go. So I said, hell yeah.
Well, that's a big story.
Everybody was packing up. I was happy helping them all pack up.
Right. That's a big story, man.
And next thing you know, everybody was gone and all that. We was chilling in the barracks, and now I had to fulfill my obligations. We're going to be in a sparring partner for this guy. And I knew nothing about boxing. Never had a pair of gloves on.
And you already grown.
And what I got, I was in the barracks. I was eating hot meals. I was taking warm showers. I was sleeping in a nice bed. All my other guys, they was out there in the woods, and I want to just thank them for taking up my slack. But I think that I made up, knowing everybody and everybody knowing me talking to everybody, and they knowing me before me becoming Mercer. They was all still my friends, man, and because of that. That's why we still talk to this day.
And you see how you got into something and then it changed your whole life, the path, where you just through boxing, now all of a sudden you become an Olympian, a world title man, and educated, you're smart, you're still looking good. That's a wonderful thing.
And the big thing is I'm here talking to you.
Oh man, I'm glad we all alive, man. So Cole, what was your big thing, man? So you wound up going real far in the amateurs and doing things too.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I had won. Actually, the truth was, one of my biggest things is my amateur winning the gold in Olympic trials. I was so much more happy. 88 in Concord, California. Okay. I was more happy winning that than winning my world title.
Who did you fight?
I fought James Tony. Oh, excuse me, James Waring. A guy named James Waring. And actually, he still holds the fastest knockout in the history of boxing for a world title. Not the fastest knockout in boxing, but the fastest knockout for a world title. Like everybody fought for world title. I think it was 28 or 32 seconds. Yeah. He won the world title.
Oh.
With
I was in line for the 80 Olympics. I could have been with you guys, man. I was in line. I kept fighting Kenneth Gull. I fought him in one national tournament.
You look just like that mama.
Yeah, everybody said that. Me and Kenneth Gull fought. We fought Kenneth Gull. We fought. He was number 1 and I was number 2.
Wow.
And we fought in Raleigh. We trained at the Camp Lejeune. In Camp Lejeune. We trained at Camp Lejeune for a month. We fought in Raleigh, North Carolina. And we fought, and he beat me. But since he's number 1, I'm number 2, we got to fight us again. So for the Pan American box off in '87, I fought him. And I believe I really beat him. I hit him really. I knocked him out in the first round with Channel 2, Worldwide of Sports. And he got up, and the referee wouldn't let me get to him. They gave him another decision. So I had already decided they picked him to go to the Olympics. So let me just go ahead and turn pro. I had my first pro fight October 23rd, 1987. Biggest regret I have in life. Olympics right around the corner and I couldn't win.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a little BMW, gave me a little money, and I couldn't wait for it. I would have loved it up, but that was just the biggest regret in life, not waiting for the 80 Olympics. All right, let's just move forward to me. We're talking about a professional career. So you turn pro and you start moving up. You start having some big fights. It was a big accomplishment as a pro. Some big things happened. How was it being professional? I remember your big fight with Tommy Morrison. That was a big one. Who did you win? I was on my way to the fight when you beat Tommy Morrison, man. I was on my way there, man, and I didn't.
Well, I tried to hold him up for you. So
yeah, but I did get to see you and Holyfield go at it, and you lost a split decision, but I was there for that. I was there live for that. That was a big fighting line. See, with you and Holyfield, man. What was it like fighting, Holyfield?
Man, fuck it. I mean, he's a great fighter. But he's dirty in ways. I mean, he hit me when I took a knee. That's what we talked about.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Took a knee and hit me in the back of the head, man. Come on.
9th round, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't remember that.
9th round. Because a lot of people believe you would have got the decision if you didn't do that. If you didn't get that job.
When I did that, I only did that because in the military they teach you, to get your marbles.
If you get days, go down.
Take a knee.
I think that's what's missing there.
When you get knocked down, you don't just jump right up. You just take your time and get your shit together.
That's what Fury did. How he got away with that. They showed a picture of him just laying down, and the average referee would have just stopped it. But he just laid there for a minute and then jumped up within the 10 seconds.
I mean, it's real.
Yeah.
I mean, them army churches we had, man.
And I was at your fight when you won the title. I believe it was in Waterloo, New Jersey.
Waterloo Village.
That was a nice little tuck show or whatever. Yeah. Remember we had that when you won your first title, man. What was that like?
Oh,
man?
that was
great. World
great.
Champion.
That was great because the years before we had a traditional thing there because I think I was defended my USBA fight there first, my USBA title. Then I think the following year I ended up James Warren. But that's what I'm saying. James Warren was a heck of an athlete, fastest knockout for any division for a world title. And I ended up beating him, and then I just went on to try to stick up with my triple threat guys because Charles Murray, the Natural, Mercer, they was just so excited. They was everything.
So what I want to get into now, I mean to cut you off, sorry about that. I want to kind of, a few things I wanted to kind of go into because we made some money now. We living like we got little things going on now. And I remember us playing cards and gambling and everything. And you walking around the table reading the Bible telling us we shouldn't be gambling. But then I found out. That your Cole down Atlantic City, man. Not Cole. Cole ain't gambling because he walking around the table with the Bible telling us we shouldn't be gambling.
That was all of us in the army when they was playing dice. I'm like, y'all.
The devil had a strong presence.
So making that money had us bad a little bit, huh?
Nah, it's just
I'm saying, Cole down Atlantic City, he lost a lot of money. I said, no, Cole don't gamble, Cole. He preaching to us, telling us we got to get up and stuff.
Yeah. I was never tried, but listen, from a kid growing up with my mom playing bingo and Pekino and constantly going to be. But I was always
You
trying
got
not.
no on your mom's audio.
No. But I always tried not. No, yeah. I said we always tried to do. I always tried not to do it. But now I finally I won the title. And I never used to go down to the casino at all. Never used to go. I'm fighting at the hotel, and I had a first early knockout, and I just usually going back in my room. I'm like, you know what? Let me go downstairs and, let some of my fans maybe see me. Because I usually fight and I'm back in the room. But it's boring. I had a quick knockout, and when I said, let me just go down to the casino. And I went and then I met one of my cousins that I haven't seen in a long time. And he's only like, what? He was taller than me. He's only like 5'8" now. And I haven't seen him now. I'm 6'5". He's 5'8". Oh. But, so we started again. I just said, let me play because I'm bored. Played a little gamble. Played this. I messed up because the first time the first time I ended up playing dice,
you won.
I won about $10,000.
And that's like smoking the pipe, huh?
I was like, yeah.
That's like smoking the pipe. I know, man. Sometimes you wish you lose, man.
Yeah.
So having money, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I'm just trying, I don't want to forget some things. I'm sorry. But if you got something you want to say, you interrupt me back.
No, it's just like I interrupt all day, so.
But we make money, we do some things, and then at some point in our career comes to an end. Now what? What do we do? It's all over. What did it look like, Ray? You came, your life was changing to boxing, and now all of a sudden, it's over. What do you do?
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Retirement?
Retirement, man. I love being retired, man.
So you made enough money to retire and be good?
Well, no. Who does? You know what I'm saying? I'm retired. I don't box anymore. That was my, thing that I did. But I got other things I'm doing to bring money in.
Okay. Plus, you get a military pension, so that's great that you guys did go through the military.
We get bill money.
So that's good. Well, that's great.
Well, yeah, we.
What was it like for you though?
Same thing like Mercer, but I still probably want to do some Mercer. Like, look, I remember when we was in the Army, Mercer said at one point, when we was in the Army, never even thought about turning pro. Mercer, did you ever think about turning pro when we was in the Army? Or we just trying to outdo each other? And that's what we were trying to do. Never thought about turning pro. Wasn't even thinking, I knew nothing about boxing. We were just trying to outdo each other and don't want to get beat up. And working with Mercer every day, I had to be on my P's and Q's. Because Mercer's knocking out everybody. Mm-hmm. So I had to be sharp. So I had to, it's like iron sharpening iron. That's all it was. And then when he got the opportunity to turn pro, I remember Hank Johnson, the coach, said, one day if you ever get an opportunity to turn pro, do it. Because you don't want to sit back and look at all your other friends and say, oh, I boxed with him, or I boxed with him. And he said, then you got to go to your old the photos and pictures where y'all used to fight together and prove to people, because nobody's going to believe you. I'm like, we never cared about that. But then the next everybody talk about turning pro and doing this, and I didn't know nothing about it. Then I got approached to this, and then when Bob Arum seen after Mercer and win the gold, and Kenny McKinney and everybody, we all just said like we formed like a West Coast and the East Coast boxing team.
Right.
And that's what we did. And so, now I remember hanging around the streets. My mom told me, like, no, if you're going to box, go home. Get out the street. Go ahead. Now I start realizing what Kenny Adams and Hank Johnson were telling me. I'm not fighting for a trophy no more. I'm fighting for my livelihood.
Absolutely.
So I got to think different and save up money. And that's what, had some investments, started stuff, but everybody, whoever makes money, you can see, I can say entertainers, because you will see athletes, but you can see musicians, you can see movie stars. Everybody makes money, but we, like Biggie said, more money, more problems. We all think about, spending money.
Yeah, that's real life, and that money sometimes, we can get, and I thank God that that none of you or myself have that problem where drug addictions and problems where because that money can cause us to make bad chances and do a lot of bad things. So now boxing is over. What you got going on with yourself, man? You retired. You do a lot of fishing, I guess, right?
I do
Just
a lot
fishing?
of fishing and making appearances, man. I mean,
Making appearances.
life after boxing is great.
I see you're like one of the few though that understands their worth. You know, I talk to my man Ahmed a lot, and he always tell me that, man, you don't know your worth. And a lot of fighters don't know that they can still make appearances. They can write a book. They can do documentaries. They can do a lot of things.
I had a friend come get me out the couch. He told me to get some cards. He got me some cards and got me at 2 functions and giving out the cards and been going ever since, man.
A lot of fighters need to do that because a lot of I wouldn't even imagine why Holyfield need to go back into the ring again, and with all the money that he made, but to go back in, and then what happened a couple months ago was really disgraceful.
You only good at your last fight. I would care for what's $5 million. Money is not everything. I mean,
Right.
he sold his rep for $5 million. I mean, like I said, you're only known as your
Last fight.
You're good at your last fight.
Yeah.
And he got clobbered, I heard.
Well, he didn't even really. It just was just
But,
great
you know,
seeing
he
him
got
go out
paid,
like
he got
that. Yeah.
paid some money, and the guy had what, $300 million or something like that.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
every fighter, everybody still believes in himself. If you're not a champion, you are a champion. You worked hard all your life, whatever sport, whatever you do, everything you have done, you worked hard. So you still believe in yourself, even if it's not there. You still believe.
It's so right.
You still believe. And whatever in life is, whatever sport you do, you believe you still the best. You work hard, and until someone proves you wrong, like this time.
You gotta go that far. You gotta go that far.
Yeah, but something to what he said, because it used to be so hard for me to even just be into a boxing. I couldn't even be in the gym training anybody without saying I'm getting in the ring. One eye, a half an eye, no eye. Like, it made me.
I let it go just like I was holding the damn fireball.
You want them smart fighters, though. You want them smart fighters.
Like I said, if you look at it, the way I got into boxing, it wasn't a dream of mine.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's
it
different.
wasn't until after a couple of years, in the boxing that I had a dream of winning the gold medal, being the best that you can be in anything. And that's just what I was doing. I was just trying to be the best.
Just trying to be the best at what you in. That was something. I remember reading a book, Muhammad Ali was the first book I've ever read, was The Life of Muhammad Ali. And I remember him saying that his mother said, I don't care what you be, whatever it is you are, even if you're the garbage man, just be the best at it.
Right.
Be the best at it. And Cole, you made a whole lot with what you had.
Yeah,
and even Ray, in terms of like starting late and not having the skills of some of the other fighters you guys might have had, the sheer determination and power and strength you had, you guys became world champions.
That's the Army. The Army, that's one of our mottos in the Army: be all you can be.
Be all you can be.
And that was the thing about it. And just try. I think I was a chronicle underachiever or overachiever because I was always underestimated myself, and I had like I said, a short man complex, even though I'm like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". But
short man.
Yeah, because I was so skinny.
Oh.
When I graduated high school, I was only 145 at 6'1". Okay. 145 pounds at 6'1". That's like toothpick.
Yeah.
And so, but I always played football and basketball, and I always tried to out hustle everybody, and always do that. So I always worked extra hard.
Yeah. That's what I like about the upcoming fight with Porter and Crawford, because Porter's like that. They might not have the skills like every other fighter, but he worked hard and he's going to be in the fight. They said about Wilder that he did the most with the least. And I was going to ask you guys about that's my next question, but I think he did do the most with the least. That he did a lot. What do y'all think about the Wilder fight and Fury fight?
I think he should give up beating Fury. I think that should be take the risk. I think everybody knows that he cannot beat Tyson Fury. I don't care how many excuses or whatever. But the only thing he needs to really do is, this is what he did. He went and he lifted weights. He hired new people. He lifted weights and ate good. That ain't what he needed. What he needed to do is learn how to box.
Keep his hands up.
combination.
learn to box. That's what it is.
Keep his hands up.
Learn to box instead of going in there looking for a knockout. We already know what happens when you look for a knockout.
Absolutely.
It usually don't come. For a knockout comes only when you ain't looking for it. They say.
What do you think, man?
Because
I was wrong, man. I picked Wilder to beat Fury this time, and I actually lost.
Because he's American, that's why.
But so you a German now because you went to the military, raised in Germany? You raised in Germany now?
No, man. I just love the guy, man. He gave his first check to the homeless people. I mean, the guy's a real guy.
Okay,
that's why I like Tyson Fury. You know?
Okay, yeah.
And then the fact that
well, my son told me he was going to win.
Can't box. And he went in there and tried to prove that you could knock everybody the hell out. Now, now the kids know.
Yeah.
And he's teaching them good lesson. I'm gonna use it too, because I want to be like, you see, Deontay Wilder couldn't box, throwing one punch. He didn't have enough. He wasn't even throwing the combinations when he had what's called
Mark Breland.
No, he had Fury hurt so bad.
Yeah.
All he had to do was hit him a couple of
Yeah,
times.
I saw that.
He had the skills.
After the second round, he was tired. I couldn't believe that either.
And I think that's because of the training. You don't know. I like one thing that I knew. Even if you was better than me, I'm being in better shape. I worked hard. I'm out hustle you. I'm out work you. I'm out hustle, and I'm gonna wear you down. And that's what Mercer always said. I'm just so busy throwing punches.
That was you, because I boxed with you, and that's how you is, you know. He like that. I got to really. He gonna keep coming, and he gonna keep coming. And,
I ain't gonna let you learn something. I'm gonna get you learn. You got to be avoided. I'm like yeah, punching here, punching there. I'm doing like Fred Sanford, punching here, punching there. I'm punching where I'm hitting you. I'm staying busy because I didn't have his skill, but I wasn't as powerful as Mercer. Mercer like, boom, you're gone.
Well, listen,
boom, you're gone. I'm keep trying.
I really appreciate you guys coming on, man. You did an outstanding time. I'm having fun with this.
Are we out of here already?
No, we're not out of here yet, man.
Okay.
But I really enjoy this. But I want to know, man. I really want you guys to come back so we can have some more discussions. I would love to get all three of you together. We try to reach out to Charles. Maybe the three of us get down and sit around and be talking about this.
I forgot all the times we had up in Great Gorge, but I knew you was there all the time. Salim was there. You know, a lot of fighters, you know, it was just so great. It was all of us just having, like, even when we trained, it wasn't intense, but we was serious about what we was doing, but we was having fun. Right, and that was all the thing about it. We just had someone never understood the reality of boxing or the business side, because we were just having fun.
That's probably what the young fighters today is about, where they just enjoying the moment, and a lot of times they, like you said, they don't keep the money and they're not investing or planning that this career is not forever, so let me prepare for that. So Ray, I'm going to ask you, like, if there was something that you wanted to say to a young Ray Mercer or to a young athlete that's coming up, man, that may be looking for a world title or trying to be the best he can be in boxing, what do you have to give to him, man? What would you give to a young fighter?
I would just tell them that, hey, if you got a dream, you can certainly make it happen, because I'm proof, and there's a lot of other athletes out there that's that make that, come to the light.
Just believe.
Yeah, all you have to do is believe it, but the main thing you have to do is where you won't be asking yourself any questions after you train and you fight. You won't have any excuses. What you have to do is you have to leave everything on the road and in the gym. You have to really train hard, don't leave no question in your mind if you was in shape or not. Make sure you're in shape. If you're in shape, you can do anything you want to do.
I agree with you so much.
You have to be in shape. These young guys nowadays, they're not running. They're getting title fights so fast, they're not in shape. I mean, these sorry fights. Yeah, I hate to say that. I mean, we got a couple of good fighters out there.
I heard
the
later.
Fights are not like they used to be, man.
I heard later. I didn't know this part about Deontay Wilder, but Mark Breland spoke the other day.
Did he?
And they said that Mark Breland said that he won't listen and
he won't.
that he won't run, and when he don't feel like training, he don't train. So,
and it shows.
But you know, the reason.
And we all know Mark. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
We all know Mark Breland is the #1 amateur boxer that we probably ever had. I mean, I know how to box. He knows how to box. And he's not going to get in there and teach Wilder what he's been doing. So why did we know he didn't listen to the guy?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And the reason I'm saying that, not defending Wilder, but the reason he's probably have done that. Even Mark is a great fighter, amateur, professional, world champion, top gold medalist as an amateur, professional world champion, Hall of Fame guy. But the one thing that Wilder really probably didn't listen to, because he was winning. He was knocking out people. And so not saying he was right, but you think, he in his mind, I'm not saying I don't know him that well, I don't really never met him, but I'm just trying to say I know his trainer, other trainer, Malik Scott. Yeah. But when he's winning by what he's doing,
why change?
Why change?
Absolutely.
That was saying that. And you know what? Even though Mark was trying to teach it, Mark, only time Wilder fights good after he throw the first good 1-2. After that, he wild and he don't. And so he's been winning this way of not being incorrect. Yeah, so absolutely. He don't want to think like teaching him different because he's winning foolishly and winning this way and
so
still
why should I change?
That's right. Probably his mentality. I don't know, but and you know even when he fought halfway deep, baby, he still knocked him out.
Yeah.
He still
had the power. And you could relate to that, man. You got in there with a lot of guys that was better than you that you knocked out. You know. Listen, man, I enjoyed this again, man. It was great, you guys, man. We can go on and keep talking about this, and I'm liking it, but I know that our time is short. So, listen, I want to thank both of you. I love you.
No problem.
President, me and you, man, we had a lot of things
going on. We came up together. We ain't talking about the secret quiet stuff here. The secret, the down and dirty.
Man, you got it. You're right, man. It was a pleasure, man. Next time we're going to come in here, we're going to reach out to Charles. We're going to try to do this again, another Mother Soul, man. This is At the Bell with Derek Poppy Roland. I got two wonderful fighters, man. I enjoyed this right here. Like and share so we can keep bringing these to you, man. Again, we got Merciless Ray Mercer and Al Cole.
Ice Cold.
Al Ice Cold, my brothers. All right.
At the Bell.